Flew around. I want to know if they were going to flew around. I'll take my glasses off.
It's.
I only ran off about 30 of them, thinking nobody was going to show up.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't hear about it. I didn't hear about it till about noon today on the radio. I took the half the day off. I'm like, I'm calling off. I gotta go to this.
Which radio station?
Well, we're just glad.
570.
GTD.
Oh. Oh. Good meet you. I didn't know that. Oh.
Another reason why this looked the way it did. He announced
I think I rode that Wildcat when I was 7. I had to hold on like this.
I don't think I ever rode the Wildcat because I didn't get with it.
Jackrabbit.
Watch your step.
Pass it. Yep, pass it down. Remember jumping off the train up here? Everybody jumped off.
Yeah, it crossed. Yeah, because it went that way.
Disturb anybody's
Come on up here. Now,
encampment.
Nobody's been there for. Oh wait, that wasn't here last time I was here.
I want to point something out up here.
There's a piece of pipe.
Let's wait a minute.
All over the place.
You're at the original amphitheater.
Oh,
Or the
okay.
ballroom. This is where. Here.
I didn't notice them.
Hello.
Hey, the way the Dave's pointing.
And over there.
It looks pretty new.
It's a really awesome thing. Who remembers the train?
Who remembers jumping off back here?
Oh, yeah.
I might have, but I just don't remember. That drove me nuts. I'm like, I can't remember what that was. Well, that's where the train went through.
Yep, train.
It went right along there.
Train.
Yeah, this thing was getting my curiosity. It's like a metal wall.
Okay, I tried to hang out. When you're looking from this vantage point, there's the flat area, and over here you can see it like a metal fence. That would be the train. As you're looking across, it would be the Wildcat.
Oh my God.
This structure sitting right here, and they still have them up in Milk Fellows, Riverside Garden. It'd be throw a quarter in and the viewer thing.
Oh, okay. That drove me nuts. You have no idea. I stood here for 10 minutes like, what was that thing? I think this was the train path.
Was it?
Pretty sure it was. Was this the train path? Was this the train path here? This was just a walkway. I thought this was when I was up there. I couldn't remember.
Where's the path take you? Are you the producer or something of WKBN? Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
program director.
My son's on Facebook here, and he listens to the Ron Verb all the time.
Ron's in Florida.
There he is, Ryan. Dave Price. Yep. Oh, this is Dave. He
I
recognized
didn't even know. I never seen the face. I knew the voice.
Price from 570 WKBN.
He's the one who told me to come, and I didn't even realize it.
Now, what's this all over?
Everybody kind of try to get back in here so I can point a few things out.
Yeah, this was Kittyland. That's Picnic Hill. That was the Model A cars over there.
There was back in the early days was actually a spring fed pool.
Yeah, this saltwater. This was it here.
They closed it because of it's right.
I heard that the amount of people stopped coming, so they got rid of it. That was before me.
That's it.
This is the most people been in this park probably since Idora.
Probably. It's about how many people would be in here in the last year. Everybody here.
I came in, I'm like, man, nobody must come here because I didn't find anything anywhere. I was metal detecting, found all kinds of stuff.
Those people looking on the wood.
Vinegar. Oh yeah, we'll see here.
I did.
Right where these guys are, this is the train station.
Yep.
Right here.
CP hunting.
Where's that train now, David?
I'm tuning Deer Park.
Oh, is that who ended up with it?
They lost the back wheels, the big back wheels. They don't have them, but it's still running.
They take the track and everything when they took it? Because I didn't find any track when I was walking back there.
Yeah, Jim took it.
I know that.
It's over there. Oh, well, here we go.
Well, you can follow the train down this way. I've walked this
Does anyone
already.
have a chainsaw?
No, we'll just go this way and around.
That's where I went. I wasn't going through all
Going
that.
around the tree.
Watch the step, everyone.
Yeah. Like pass it down, like.
Careful the pipe.
Don't climb in the hole.
Look at that.
Hang on.
Follow me over.
Flat tire, flat tire.
Lost my shoe.
This was the train track ran along these pine trees, didn't it? Well, didn't it go down that way, loop around, and come back this way? Well, that wasn't here. I never came over here. Here, let me do this.
There you go. You know what?
Here, let me see it.
There we go.
Little now.
Everybody, please be careful.
This is not maintained like it, would be nice to be. So.
Yeah, I think the park crew is on strike.
Okay. The swimming pool has always been said to be like salt water. And when I looked into it, what I found out was between here and Niles, and of course, think of Salt Springs Road, it was known as the Salt Fork. And there's a lot of, talk about Indians, where the name comes from. I could go on, but we don't have enough time. They came here to get the salt to preserve their meat. And
Somebody full?
yeah, and there's a lot of stories that I researched through YSU, and a couple of professors. One of my best friends was Rick Shale that wrote the book Last Ride of Summer. There's a story about a lady named Tilly Smedley, and the arcade was actually a lunch hall before it became the arcade that we all remember. And she tells a story about how she used to take food down to the Indians. Well, everybody knows where the Platts is, right? Mm-hmm. You know where the Upper Platts is? It'd be right outside the Wildcat, big field, right out there on East Park Drive. She used to tell a story about how they took food to the Indians down at the amphitheater. The amphitheater is actually, you're as old as me, Ski Hill. If you go back in the days, we used to come up here to Ski Hill, and it was like the most horrific freaking sled riding experience anybody can have. But it was an amphitheater, if you go way back. And if you go across that Upper Platts, by the bathroom, there are stairs that go down. And they go down not to the lower flats, they go down and curve to the amphitheater. And that's where they came. They also would go over to the east side of Youngstown to Council Rock in Lincoln Park. And that's where they would meet before all dispersing and going, you know, their separate ways. We're going to make ourselves back up here to the upper midway, go down around the Hooterville Highway, etc., and make our way back. Watch your step. This is your base of caterpillar.
So what color were the pavilions? Orange. That's the base, right?
You mean on the caterpillar?
Yeah. You asked that question. Were they orange?
I asked the question. Yes, they were orange.
Oh.
Depending on the color, you know, like
Like they're green and orange, like all different green and orange. Do we need a group photo?
I don't think it fit everybody in it. They're still way back in the woods.
All right. Before I take you around this backside behind you, what's behind me? There's your rock and the concession stand. Right behind me. The only thing left is a cement-based wall. So watch your steps as you come up here.
Okay, let everybody gather so we can get a good group photo.
I think we should do is cut the fence, bring the truck in with the rocket, park it behind it, and get a picture with it.
Yeah. Let everybody just
probably
hang there
best
and
to do it
try
up on that hill.
wherever. I just want to try and get a photo there. We didn't get any photos in the parking lot.
If I get everybody's attention, please. Spike,
Before we move on.
whom everyone knows, would like to get a group photo of everybody. Where's the best place you think we could get that? It'd be right up on the hill.
Yeah, the hills actually.
Head for the hills!
Go up here.
Over there.
This will not be used for the police.
Hey, Youngstown's biggest mugshot.
Well, not that far up, child. How far
Like
are you
right
going
here.
for the front?
Right in here.
Right in
where
here.
the train station is.
Come on, morning. Grandma. Hey, come on. This bird's little.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta take a picture first.
First time I have a picture. Oh, I'm sorry. Pennywood, I go around. I grew up in Pennywood.
This path, in the later years of the park, they had what you would, they called it the Fantastic Flying Machine. The last one I knew was at Conneaut Lake Park. And it had a fin in the front. Yeah, they do have one. Yeah, they have one at Cedar Point.
Flying Eagles.
Right. And it had a fin in the front, and you would try to snap that freaking cable and, sorry, piss off the ride operator. And this is all the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see where the bridge was at the end of it.
Doesn't it come to an end? There's a bridge.
Yeah, it clear goes right up to it and it just stops and the bridge is gone. But you can see right at the end of this path where it was at. That was metal detecting. There's a bunch of metal pins in the ground. I couldn't get nothing.
Well, wouldn't the fun house be in this area? The fun house is actually
Metal under the track was. You know what I mean?
Because young kids like me would try to steal the car, try to get it off the track. Well, who hasn't tried to do that? Who hasn't tried to get the car off the track? Every time you got back where they couldn't see, you'd be turning that thing and try to get the pop off so you could go driving off somewhere. You chasing grasshoppers or butterflies? It's almost like somebody stole the bridge because there's nothing left there.
It's not, there's nothing yet. They had to have taken it. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
somebody had to have
It was a
taken
big pond at that point.
Well, you used to drive under it. It looped around and went under.
Well, this one,
Yeah, because
There were
it goes,
two.
it goes up and goes around. And
yeah,
one,
that's right.
one,
No, you're right. Yeah, it did, and then it looped back around, and they went under the baby wildcat.
Oh no, wait, this is the other one.
Yeah, there was one. I don't remember there.
I think it's over there. 'Cause
Yeah,
I,
this-
I walked it. It's over there.
Yeah, this was was this covered? I think this one was covered, and then the other one was open.
Yeah, the other
that
one.
was
It's a
the one
sheer
that-
cliff on the other one. It's down farther.
Yeah, and that was the one that went underneath.
It must be on that path.
You went over a bridge.
Yeah, looped that. Yeah, there's the path right there. Yeah, it's over there. The other one looks good.
And you would come underneath that way. So, you want to come up here? I was telling these guys, the Hooterville Highway would come this way, and there was a tunnel that went underneath the Kittyland coaster. If anybody looks or searches the pictures, the front of that tunnel had a big, like, I don't know, western facade. Well, do y'all remember the Kooky Castle? Okay. Before that, it was the Gold Nugget. And the same guy designed both rides. His name was Bill Tracy. And when they decided in the psychedelic era, because that's when the fun house turned into the Wacky Shack, etc., to retheme the Gold Nugget, make it the Wacky Shack. But what Idora was good at that time was repurposing things. They had a lot of trade agreements with Conneaut Lake Park, Kennywood. We all remember the Rock Oak Plains. Guess what? They were here twice. They were here once, then they went, then they got them back, and you know, they were down by the Yo-Yo, etc. But the facade of that tunnel is actually the facade of the Gold Nugget dark ride. So, just some cheap information.
And I was worn out. It was a Saturday, so I took 2 pieces on my trailer, took them home one at a time, came back here to get the 3rd piece the next day, and there was a lightning storm, and I had a metal trailer with a winch and a winch cable and that metal piece that was laying upside down over there. So I said, and we had to go back to Washington, D.C. We lived in D.C. at the time, but we had a house here, so I left the 2 pieces at the house. So we went back to D.C. and I called all the police, local police around here, and said, "Can you just keep an eye on this? Can you just keep an eye on this? Thank you. This other section here, because I have to go back to work." And a couple of days later, a member of the church, who was my contact at the time before they got upset with me trying to buy the property, contacted me and said, "Did you come back here and get that piece already?" Some scrapper had stolen it. So that part's gone. But we have the other section. It's in our building. Jeff wanted me to tell you that story.
On this level platform, that's where the Helter Skelter public cars auto scooter would have been. Mark, if you walk over to this, watch your feet. You're going to find 10,000 jails. Park, bumper cars, Wacky Shack, Kooky Castle. So that's what you're looking at here. And before the Wacky Shack and Kooky Castle, it was one big fun house. Because I got stories of my buddy running the Wacky Shack, and you used to walk in, make a right, make a left. But to your right was a wall. And we used to jump over the wall and go up and explore. Because everything from the old fun house was still there.
That laughing leader.
Well, that was the game. But there was the slides, there was the big circular thing, there was a thing called a magic carpet that it rolled towards you and you had to try to make your way up. But that's what you're looking at over here. And where this tree is, there's your Heidelberg Cove South and Crazy Horse Saloon. Yeah, flying cages, you're right. And the remote control boats. You were here in the late 70s, early 80s. If you look at the way the topical, I guess, geography is, a lot of that structure is underneath this ground. When it burned, they just covered it over, you know. So, and as we go back this way, obviously the Wildcat, the Idora bingo, the hot dog on a stick. Come on, guys. There we go. We're gonna go that way. Passed out and had to go to the nurse's office. It would have been over here too. Looking to my right, your left, you're gonna see a wall. That's your arcade. Your arcade is right here, in this area. This is the Wildcat station. The Wildcat would be right behind me. Top 10 coaster in the country. Best coaster in the country.
Crack the most ribs.
I got that card. One of them stayed underneath here at times. There was also a house way back before Pat Duffy and everything we know. It used to be under the Jackrabbits. And back when this park started, a lot of these amusements, not the Wildcat, but like when they had the figure 8 roller coaster, Idora didn't own it. They leased the space to it and made money off of it, but it was owned by somebody else. Same thing with, what was it? Tammy Anderson from the Idora Cotton Candy. They started out, I believe, I don't see her here, but they started out up in Conneaut Lake Park. But then they were able to secure a spot here at Idora, which was actually down by the ballroom, but then moved up underneath the rocket ride. But as we go down here, this wall behind you, that's all your fishing game, your midway games. And as we go down to your right, I can show you a platform. I think it's still there. It's all overgrown. There was the carousel that's now in New York City.
Does anybody remember what year the Wildcat was built?
I think the house, the carousel house,
80 foot from one post to the other.
Right now, I'm standing in the carousel. If you come up here, you know, the round platform and the way to get in would be right here where this stuff is. And I got many stories. I worked with a guy named Cliff. And our job was to run the carousel and grease the pole. So you had 3 stages of the carousel, I guess, operating arm. Click once, click twice, and then there was a strap you put down for the high speed. And I'll never forget, there was a time where Cliff and I went into the center housing, and you had to go down about 4 or 5 steps and take this big swabby thing, put it in a greased bucket, and grease the gears. Well, we're down there, and all of a sudden we hear a lot of banging. We come up, and one of the horses came out of the bottom shop, and it was swinging back and forth. And of course, then came Pat Duffy. Then came Mike, and I think it's the last time I was ever here. I went back to being a chipmunk. Go back up to the picnic hill. So to your left would have been a section of the Midway building, and down here as well to your right.
That is the.
All right, everybody to your left. Up here at the end of the cement on your left is the Cheyenne Shootout. If you remember that. Remember the guy on the piano? Everybody want to kill him?
Every time you do it, it's like you.
Yeah.
blade.
And if you come up here and look on your right, you're going to see a down telephone pole. That's your park office. So the park office was in here. Anybody remember the prettiest, ugliest green light thing that hung over the park office? Jim has at the museum. But it would have been right in here. And then, of course, to the left of it would have been the rapids and the Lost River.
For those of you who don't know, the Lost River Ride had a steel channel that leaked occasionally, and while they were welding it, like they had seen started on fire.
But if you come down here, you're going to see the center base to the turtle. That's the only thing left. Everything else is gone. The motors made their way to Conneaut Lake Park, and that, for lack of a better term, and being nice idiot, that bought that park and burned the Blue Street. Don't know where they are, but the motors from our turtle did end up at Conneaut. And if you go down this way, you're going to see the big cement center section where, you know, went around.
So that's over 7 foot tall with the concrete and the steel. That was the center of the turtle. The wall around it was the station. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's only a handful of those turtles left.
Kennywood.
Gone.
There's a deer. Deer just went flying that way. He ran that way. He's gone. He was laying down right there. He got up and ran.
Oh, there they go.
You know what?
Sorry.
I take that back. That's about 8 foot tall. Well, it had to hold all around.
How did the deer get in here?
Oh, they live in here. They're everywhere.
I know, right?
There's a lot of them.
No, that's where the arm.
They just had one arm. They had like a triangle arm coming off of that point that held the car
Oh,
up.
actually, hang on. If you look in the back here, you'll see these rectangular footings.
Yeah. They're all,
That's what the track was laying on.
yeah, in the back.
Yeah, they run all the way around.
Yeah.
Remember switching seats all the turtles, getting spinning around, jackrabbit, and get down one of the operators was sitting on the
Gotta love history. You're gonna take them up to the wow. You know what? I'll be 90 years
They don't go this way. There's a big hole here.
I can't do this place.
Yeah, watch some big holes everywhere here. Twist an ankle.
As I pointed out, back here is the Cheyenne Shootout. Anybody remember the skydiver? Ferris wheel? So it's kind of, you know, you went upside. It would have sat right in this grassy area. This grassy area also would have been the stage for what I said back at the beginning, the original amphitheater where the seats were up in the hill. Also, between the Cheyenne Shootout and the stairs, you remember the circular garden. Because again, that would be the ballroom, Jackrabbit straight ahead. And when we go down here, obviously it would be the yo-yo, fighter, and Rocco plane.
My dad worked at Wing United, and we used to have the company picnics here. And he'd get us all down here, and he'd tell us we could go do what we wanted to do. Go eat as much ice cream and orange drink as we wanted up there in Kittyland Pavilion. And him and my mom was headed to the ballroom. And he says, that's where we'll be. You want to check in on it. There's just so many memories here. I'm just thrilled that I'm here. Because I tell my son's going to be 31, and I tell him he's 30. But like I said, I have a picture on my phone of me and my girlfriend back in '76, up there where the Hooterville Highway, we were sitting on the fence up there. It was great. And what the Amy's have done, it's wonderful. It brings back so many good memories. I hope everybody that came out enjoyed themselves. Yep, absolutely. A lot of memories.
For me, this is just a passion of love, trying to figure out, the whole story. And maybe someday I'll write it down. I'm not sure. I go 7 days a week at WKBN radio, but I want Jim to come up. And Tony, come on now. Okay, he's got this one. But for me, probably the last time I'm going to come up here. Because every time I come up here, it just breaks my heart. It really does. My first job was here. And, living in the, being employed in media, knowing all this stuff, I like coming up here. I love it. I love to honor it. But I think, Jim talked me into this the other day. This is about it. I'm not going to come up here anymore. I can't.
We appreciate it, Dave.
Unless he asks me.
I'll be coming here every year for the rest of my life, so don't worry.
Gotta keep the
We'll call you
memories
back on
alive.
opening day.
Okay, am I the last person to speak? Just everyone's go.
Lemonade.
Do I have the right side of it this time?
Yeah.
How's this? Okay.
There you go.
I really appreciate the support, everybody coming out here, because it means a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to everybody else here. I mean, obviously you loved Idora Park. I loved it too, and I miss it like crazy. We are probably going to run over to Savannah Joe's and get something to eat, so I'm not paying for you folks. But if you want to join us, did you know that a boy found a gun here on the property? What? I wasn't supposed
I
to
can
say
tell
that.
Bill all kinds of stories.
Was I not supposed to say that? Did you tell me? It's the stroke. I'm sorry. I don't remember things. I don't remember you telling me. I'm in trouble with her all the time, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, he found a gun. He found a gun. A shoot gun. A bang bang. Today. The kid. There was a kid. I'm not saying what kid it was, but the kid found a real gun on the property. So somebody else could, luckily his parents were with him, and somebody else could have found that gun. There could have been something terrible that happened. So this was a good thing that happened. It happened for a reason that we were out here. So I want to thank you all for coming. Please feel home safe, and especially climbing out of here. And like I said, we're going to go to Savannah Joe's because I've heard great things about the place. It's on Glenwood. The food's supposed to be fantastic, so we're going to go eat. So if anybody wants to join us, you got to pay for something. Well, thanks so much.
And at least Denny from Rock Creek did not show up.
Who's leaving?